The particles in liquids are close together and the intermolecular attraction are strong enough to hold the particles close together. Thus, liquid has a definite volume. But the shape is unfixed. This is because the particles in liquid can still move past each other freely. Thus, the intermolecular attraction are not strong enough to hold the molecules in a fixed position. That's why liquids will follow the shape of container. Surface tension is a measure of energy required to increase the surface area of a liquid by a unit area. Molecules inside a liquid are pulled in all directions by intermolecular forces, but the molecules on the surface are pulled downward and sideways only. These intermolecular forces tend to pull the molecules into the liquids and cause the surface to tighten like an elastic film. The stronger the intermolecular forces between molecules in a liquid, the more energy is needed to increase the surface area, thus the surface tension is greater. If you look at the water droplets on a leaf, it does not flow in a continuous stream but rather in a series of drops. The spherical shape of the drops is caused by the surface tension of the water. The only reason the shape is not completely spherical is due to the force of gravity that pulling down on it. If there is no gravity, the drop would minimize the surface area in order to minimize the tension, which would result in a perfectly spherical shape. Water strider lakes are formed to distribute their weight, causing the surface of the liquid to become depressed and minimizing the potential energy to create a balance of forces so that the strider can walk on water. Viscosity is a tendency of a liquid to resist flow. In this diagram, we have three different types of liquid: water, olive oil, and honey. At a certain time, water will fill the beaker faster than olive oil and honey. From this, we can conclude that honey has a higher viscosity followed by olive oil, and water has low viscosity. There are three factors will affect viscosity: size and shape of molecules, intermolecular forces between molecules, and the temperature. The smaller the size and if the shape are sphericals, molecules are easy to flow, thus viscosity decreases. The weaker the intermolecular forces, the lower the viscosity. The higher the temperature, the lower the viscosity. Compressibility is a measure of ability of substance to be forced into a smaller volume. Liquid will compress only slightly. This is due to the very little spaces between molecules. Diffusion is a movement of a fluid from an area of a higher concentration to an area of a lower concentration. Liquid has a moderate diffusion. This is because the particles are close together but can move randomly in three-dimensional space. You can see how a liquid diffuses by doing some experiment. Take a water into a conical flask and drop some of a food coloring at one place and then leave it at some time without disturbing it. After some time, we can see that conical flask contains a uniformly colored solution. What happened here, actually, the water and the dye diffuse independently.